Hello everyone, welcome to this exciting video on Olympics dataset analysis using Python by Simplilearn. This is going to be a very interesting and interactive session where I'll give you a brief about the history of Olympics and throw some light into the recently held Tokyo Olympics. But we'll focus more on using Olympics dataset that is available on Kaggle and perform some exploratory data analysis. You will understand how to use different functions in Python to analyze and extract meaningful information. During the course of our discussion, I'll be asking you a few general questions related to the Olympics. Try to answer them in the comment section of the video. So let's begin. The Olympics is one of the biggest sporting events on the planet. It is held every 4 years. The first modern Olympics took place in Athens, Greece in 1896. As per National Geographic, the original Olympics took place in 776 BC. So they began as part of an ancient Greek festival which celebrated Zeus, the Greek god of sky and weather. The rings in the Olympics logo represent the 5 continents: Europe, Africa, Asia, the Americas and Oceania. From 1924 to 1992, the Winter and the Summer Olympics took place in the same year, but now they alternate every 2 years. Before I move on, here is an interesting question for you. Only 2 people have ever won gold medals at both the Summer and the Winter Olympics. Who are those 2 people? Please share your answers in the comment section of the video. We would like to know from you. The Summer Olympics in Tokyo began on the 23rd of July and recently concluded on the 8th of August. We got to witness some thriller matches that went down to the wire, some amazing victories, and sadly there were a lot of heartbreaks as well. Winning and losing are part and parcel of any game. Fans across the world were really happy to see this global event happen this year following last year's postponement due to the coronavirus pandemic. With our Olympic fever high, let's take this opportunity to work around a project to perform exploratory data analysis using Python to analyze and visualize past Olympics data and answer specific questions. In this video, we will be using specific Python libraries such as NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib and Seaborn to make sense of our data and extract meaningful information. We are going to visualize our results with different charts and graphs. Before I show you the dataset that we are going to use for our analysis, I have another general question for you. Which is the first Olympics where all the participating countries sent female athletes? I repeat, which is the first Olympics where all the participating countries sent female athletes? Put the year and the city name where the Olympics was held in the comment section of the video. We'll be more than happy to hear from you. Now, let me go ahead and show you the datasets that we'll be using in this video. So here you can see I have my Olympics dataset folder that has 2 datasets. These are CSV files. One is called the athlete_events and the other one is called NOC_regions. So we'll be using these 2 datasets. These datasets can be downloaded from Kaggle. We will post the dataset links in the description of the video. Please go ahead and download them. These datasets have been directly taken from the internet. Now I'll show you the datasets. So this is my first dataset. You can see on the top athlete_events. So I have around 15 columns. You can see the count here, and there are nearly 2,71,116 rows of information. So this is a huge dataset that we are going to use. The other dataset we are going to use in this demo is called NOC_regions. Now here one thing to note is NOC stands for National Olympic Committee. This is a 3-letter code that is given by the Olympic Committee. We have the region names. So AFG is for Afghanistan. You have ALB for Albania, ALG for Algeria. We have also a column called notes. You find some notes about the region. For example, here Antigua is actually Antigua and Barbuda. Alright. Let's move to the first dataset that I showed you. This is our primary dataset for our demo. So these datasets have been directly taken from the internet and were not validated. So the results that you will see in the demo is purely based on the data that we have collected. So the file athlete_events.csv contains nearly 2,71,116 rows of information, and there are 15 columns. So each row corresponds to an individual athlete competing in an individual Olympic event. So here ID is actually a unique number for each athlete. Then we have the name, which is basically the athlete's name. We have the sex or the gender, which is male or F for female. Then we have the age of the athlete, which is in terms of integers. We have the height in centimeters of the athletes. Then we have the weight in kilograms. We have the team name. These are the country names. You have China, Denmark, Netherlands. There are around 200 country names. Then we have the NOC. As I said, NOC is a 3-letter code that stands for National Olympic Committee. We have the games. This games contains the year and the season. You can see here 1992 summer. You also have the Winter Olympic information. Alright. Then we have a specific year column to tell you in which year this event had occurred. Now the year column is also an integer column. We have the season, so whether it was Summer Olympics or Winter Olympics. Then we have the city name. This is the host city. Then we have the sport name. You can see here we have basketball, judo, football, tug of war, speed skating. There are so many. Then we have another column called event, which is the complete event name. As you can see, the sport name is basketball, but the event name is basketball, men's basketball, to be very specific. Again, for speed skating, you have different categories like women's 1000 meters, 500 meters. Alright. Now the final column is the medal column. So it has the information about the athlete, whether the athlete had won a medal, be it gold, silver, bronze, and NA means the athlete did not win any medals. So we'll use these two data sets. Now let's get started with the demo. We'll be using Jupyter Notebook for our analysis. So I'll take you to my Jupyter Notebook right away. I have opened it on Chrome. So this is my Jupyter Notebook that we are going to use. You can see here Olympics dataset analysis. I have already have a few cells that have been filled with some piece of code, and you can see there are some comments written as well. We are going to use this dataset. So let's get started. First and foremost, we'll import the datasets. So we are going to use NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn. Let me hit Shift Enter to import all the libraries. Alright. Now the next thing is to load the datasets using Pandas read_CSV function. So I'll create a variable called athletes. I'll say equal to pd dot. I'll use the read_CSV function, and inside this function we'll give the location of the files. So I'll copy this location and here I'll paste. Make sure this is within quotations, and these are all /. I'll give another /, and after that I'll give the file name, that is athlete_events.csv. I'll close the quotation. Let's run it. Okay. Similarly, we will load the second data set. I'll create another variable called regions. So it will have my data frame. I'll use the same function pd.read_CSV. I'll just copy this file path till here. We'll paste it, and I'll give my second file name, which is noc_regions.csv. You can verify here. The first one is athlete_events. The second one is noc_regions. Okay, I'll close the quotation and we'll run it again. Okay, there seems to be some error. I think this is the regions. Cool. Now moving ahead, let's see the first few rows of both the datasets. I'll use the head function for that. I'll say athletes dot head. So this will print the first 5 rows from my dataset athletes. You can see here from 0 to 4 you have 5 rows of information: the ID, name, sex or the gender, age, height, weight. If I go to the right, you have games, year, season, sport, event and medal. Now let's see the second dataset that we imported or loaded. I'll say regions dot head. It says regions is not defined. Let me cross check it. Okay, I have taken it as region. Let's make it regions. Cool. Now let's run it. There you go. So these are the first 5 rows from our second dataset. You have NOC, region and some notes. Alright. Now the next step is to combine both the datasets. So we'll join the data frames using the pandas merge function. Let me show you how to do it. So this is going to be a horizontal join. I'll create a variable called athletes underscore df. Then I'll use my first variable, which is athletes. I'll say dot merge, which is my function name. I'm going to merge the regions data frame. I'll use the how parameter. In how, I'll give my value as I want to do a left join, and my common column in both the datasets is actually NOC. So I'm going to use the NOC column as my common column to merge both the datasets. Now let's go ahead and print the merged data frame. I'll say athletes underscore df dot head. Let's run it. There you go. So if you see clearly, if I move to the right, you can see here we have added 2 more columns that were present in the second dataset, which was regions. So we have regions and notes added to my first dataset, that is athletes underscore events. Cool. Now one thing to note here is, see, the column names are not consistent. If you see here, the rest of the columns start with a capital letter, but if you see the last 2 columns that we just added now start with a lowercase letter. So we'll use the rename function to make the column names consistent. But before that, let's see the shape of the data frame. So I'll print the shape of the data frame to know the total number of rows and columns. I'll say athletes. If I hit tab, you will see it will give me the prompt. I'll select athletes underscore df. I'll use the shape attribute. Let's run it and see the result. You can see here it gives me the total number of rows, so 2,71,116 rows, and earlier we had 15 columns in the first dataset, and now that we have added 2 more columns, so the total number of columns becomes 17 now. Cool. So now it's time to make the column names consistent. So I'll show you how to do it. I'll say athletes underscore df dot, I'll use the rename function, and then I'll say columns equal to, I'll use curly braces, my first column, that is region. I want to change it to region, but the R should be capital now or uppercase. I'll give a comma and then say my second column, this should be region actually. My second column, that is notes, I want to change the first letter to uppercase, so I'll say capital N. The rest all remains same. I'll give a comma here and say in place equal to true. So it will change the column names and will reflect in this athletes underscore df data frame. Let's run it. Now to verify, you can again use the head function. I'll run this again. Let me scroll down and move to the right. You can see the difference. There you go. So we have successfully renamed the last two columns, region and notes. All right. Now moving ahead. Now I'll show you how you can use the info method to print information about a data frame, including the index data type, the column data types, non-null values and memory usage. So for that you just need to use the info function. So I'll write athletes underscore df dot info. Let's run it. There you go. So here we have the data columns. You can see total 17 columns. You have 2,71,116 rows or entries. Then you have the different column names, and it says non-null and the data type of the column. Below you can see some information about the memory usage. Alright. Next, the describe method is used for calculating statistical information such as mean, standard deviation, the percentiles of the numerical values of the data frame, and much more. It analyzes both numeric and object series and also the data frame column sets of mixed data types. So let me show you how using the describe function you can display some statistical summary. I'll just write describe and give parenthesis. Let's run it. Okay, if I scroll down, you can see here by default the describe function will only give information about numerical columns. So here you can see we have the total count, the mean of each of these columns, you have the standard deviation, the minimum and maximum value, and then we have the 25th percentile, the 50th percentile and the 75th percentile value of the columns ID, age, height, weight and year. Alright. Now one thing to notice here is if you see the year column, the minimum year is 1896. So this is when Olympics started, and until recently the Rio Olympics that was held in 2016. Alright. Now moving ahead. Now let's check if there are any null values present in the columns of the data set. So first I am going to create a variable called nan values, give equal to, I'll say athletes underscore df, and the function to check is I'll say is na. I'll create another variable called nan underscore columns, and here I'll use the any function. I'll say nan underscore this variable which is underscore values dot, I'll say any, and I'll print my nan columns variable. So this will display the result in terms of Boolean values. So if there are any null or nan or missing values in any of the columns, it will say true, otherwise it will say false. Let's display the result. There you go. So if you mark here clearly, so there are nearly 6 columns where we have missing values. You have age, height, weight, medal, region and notes columns that have missing values, so hence it has given us true. The rest of the columns do not have any nan or missing values, hence they are false. Alright, let me scroll down. Now let's see the total number of null values for the above 6 columns. So I'll say athletes underscore df dot, I'll use the function is null, and again I'll use the sum function. Okay, this should be is null. If I run it, you can see it here. So our age column has 9474 rows where we have null values. Then we have some null values for the height column as well, for the weight column. So these are the total number of rows where we don't have any information regarding age, height, weight or region. Notes, this medal is self-explanatory because a lot of the athletes who participate in Olympics don't win any medals, so for them the value is NA. Now before I move ahead, I have a question for you people. So the question is, I want you to print the column names containing null values or missing values in the form of a list. So please answer this question and put it in the comment section of the video. We would be happy to know your approach. So the question, I'll repeat it again. I want you people to print the column names containing null values or missing values in the form of a list. So basically on the top we saw there were 6 columns that had null values. I want you to print these 6 columns in the form of a list. Alright, now moving ahead. Now let's see the data for specific countries. Let's say you want to see the athletes who have participated in the Olympic Games from the beginning for India. For that, you can filter your result using a function called query. So let me show you how to do it. I'll say athletes underscore df dot, we'll use the query function, and then I'll say team, which is my column name, should be equal to, and the value I'll give is India. Now let's display the first 5 rows of information or the details for the athletes who are from India. If I run this, okay, there is some error here. Okay, so we need to make sure this entire expression or the condition should be within single quote. I'll just delete this single quote from here and we'll add it in the end. Now let's run it. There you go. So here you can see we have the top 5 rows of the athletes who are from India. You can see here the region is India, you can see the NOC is India, the team is India, and let me go to the left. You can see the name of the athlete, the sex, age. So for age you have some missing values, you have the weight, team, year and everything. Alright, similarly you can also check for Japan. Let me just copy the above code, I'll paste it here, and instead of India I'll say Japan. I'll run it. There you go. So if you see here, you can see all the details are for the athletes who are from Japan. Alright, now moving ahead. Now I want to know the top 10 countries who have participated since the inception of Olympics in 1896. So for that I'll create a variable called top underscore 10 underscore countries. I'll say equal to, I'll use my data frame, that is athletes underscore df. I'll say dot team, then I'll use the function value underscore counts. I'm going to sort my count in ascending order. Just mark the way in which I'm writing the functions. Any error in terms of syntax or the flow will throw you an error. I want to display the top 10 countries. Now let's go ahead and print it. I'll say top underscore 10 underscore countries. Alright, let me run it. Okay, it has given us an error. Let's debug it. Okay, so this should be value counts and not count. Let's run it again. another error. Okay, so this should be short underscore values and not value. Let's run it again. There you go. So here you can see the top 10 countries participating in Olympics since 1896. You have United States, then we have France. So these are the number of participants who have taken part since 1896. So the most number of participants have come from US, then we have France, Great Britain, Italy, Germany, Canada, Japan, Sweden. We also have Australia and Hungary. I'll scroll down. Now we are going to convert this table that we got, or the output that we got, in the form of a graph. So I'm trying to create a bar plot to plot the top 10 countries who have participated in Olympics. So here I'm using the figure function to give the figure size. So these are the dimensions 12,6. Now I'll tell you what this PLT_X means. Just wait for a while. I have given a title to my plot saying overall participation by country, and then using the Seaborn library and the bar plot function, I am plotting the X and the Y axis. So my X axis has top. I should make this top 10 countries because above we used top underscore 10 underscore countries. Similarly for Y axis, I'll make it top underscore 10 underscore countries, and then I'm using a color palette called set2. Let's run it. There you go. So if I scroll down, you can see here we have a nice bar plot. This is a vertical bar plot, and here you can see the bars which represent the different country names. First we have United States, which has the highest participation since the beginning of the Olympics. Then we have France, Great Britain, Italy, Germany, Canada, and we have the rest of the countries. Cool. Now moving ahead, the next visualization we are going to see is the age distribution of the athletes. So for this, we are going to create a histogram. I'll be using the Matplotlib library specifically for this visualization. So I'll say plt.figure. We'll give the figure size using the argument fig size equal to, and this will be a tuple actually. My size is going to be 12,6. I'll say plt dot title. Now you can give any title that you want. I'll say age distribution of the athletes. Then we'll also give the X labels. I'll say plt dot X label. This will have age. Then we'll say plt dot Y label, and this will have the label as number of participants. Next, I'm going to use the hist function. So I'll say plt.hist, and I'll pass in my data frame, that is athletes underscore df dot age, which is my column name, comma, I'm going to pass in the bins. For that I'm going to use the np.arange function. So np is for numpy, and inside this I'll say 10, 80, 2. So my bins will start from the value 10 and go until 80 with a size of 2, comma, I'll give another parameter that is going to specify the color of the bins. I want my color to be orange, and then I'll use the edge color to separate the bins. I'll say edge color, this is the parameter or the argument name, and the color I want is white. Let's give a semicolon here, and this should be edge color. There's a spelling mistake here. Now let's run it and we'll see the output. So there you go. So this is a nice histogram that shows the distribution of the age of the athletes. You can see the title age distribution of the athletes. On the y-axis you have the number of participants. On the x-axis we have the age values ranging from 10 to 80 with a size of 2. And if you see this, we have most number of athletes who have an age between 20 to 30. You can see here. So early 20s we have maximum number of athletes participating in the Olympics. We also have a few athletes who are beyond 40 years of age. You can see here we have a few athletes even closer to 60 also, and similarly we have a few athletes who are under 18 years of age. Alright, now you can see here the bins we had taken orange color, so all the bars are represented in orange color, and the edge you can see here we have the white color. Alright, now moving ahead. Now in the initial slides of the video we discussed the Summer and Winter Olympic Games. Let's look at the different sporting events that are part of the Summer and Winter Olympic Games. Just to give you a heads up, the Winter Olympic Games are held once every 4 years for sports practiced on snow and ice. So here I have my variable name winter underscore sports, so I'm extracting for season equal to winter, and I am going to display only the unique values. Now let me run this cell. Okay, so you can see here these are the different winter sports that are held during the Winter Olympics. Now similarly, let's see for Summer Olympics. So what I'm going to do here is I'll just copy this cell of code and we'll edit the variables. I'll say summer underscore sports, athletes underscore df remains the same. Here season we'll change it to summer. Dot sport dot unique remains the same, and here I'll say summer underscore sports. This should be small. Now let's run it. There you go. So here you can see we have more number of Olympic sports that are held during the Summer Olympics compared to Winter Olympics. So these are the sports that are played on snow and ice, and these are the sports that are played during summer. Moving ahead, now it's time to analyze the total number of male and female participants who have taken part in different games since 1896 till 2016 Rio Olympics. Alright, so I'll say gender underscore counts, which is my variable name. I'll use my data frame, that is athletes underscore df dot my variable name, that is sex, dot value underscore counts, and then we are going to print gender underscore counts. Let's run this. There you go. So since the inception of Olympics, we have more number of male participants than female participants. Now here in this current cell you can see we are trying to plot a pie chart for male and female athletes. So I have given my figure size, then I have my title as gender distribution. I'm using the matplotlib library and the pie function. I'm using the variable gender counts that we used here. Then I'm giving my labels as gender underscore counts dot index. Now I'm using this auto PCT. The auto PCT parameter enables you to display the percent value using Python string formatting. So this is my string formatting that I have used, and I'm initialized my start angle for the pie chart as 150 degrees, and I'm also giving shadow to my pie chart. So I have written shadow equal to true. Let's run it. Alright, so you can see here this is my pie chart that shows you the distribution of the male and female participation. So for male it is 72.5%, for female so far it is 27.5% as per the dataset that we have. Now you can change this start angle to, let's say, 180 degree, and it will change the pie chart to this direction. Cool. Now moving ahead, this time we are going to find the total number of medals that the athletes have won. So I'll use my data frame athletes underscore df dot, and then my column, that is medal, I'll say dot value underscore counts. Let's run it. There you go. So you can see the gold medals, the bronze medals and the silver medals are very much similar to each other. The numbers are pretty much the same. Alright, now it's time to focus on the total female athletes who have taken part in each Olympics. So I'll create a variable called female underscore participants. I'll say equal to, and then use my data frame name, that is athletes underscore df. Using square brackets, I'll say athletes underscore df dot, the gender should be equal to female, and I'll use ampersand. I'll say, just copy this, paste it here. I'll say dot season equal to, we'll check for Summer Olympics, and I want to extract only the gender column. So here it is sex, comma, my year column, which is year. Okay, and then I'll say female underscore participants equal to, I'll just copy this, paste it here, and then I'll use the group by function. Say group by, which is part of the pandas library. I'll say year, and then I want to find the count. I'll reset the index, say reset underscore index is a function, and finally we are going to print female underscore participants, and let's say the head. Alright, so what we are trying to do is, I'm trying to filter my data only for the female athletes for Summer Olympics, and here I am printing the participation based on each year, so I'm finding out the count. So here we need to add one more square bracket. Alright, now we'll run it and see the result. There you go. So you can see here from 1900, 1904, all these years you can see the female participation. Let me change it to tail so that we have the recent data of the Olympics. You can see it here. For the Beijing Olympics, 5,816 women athletes participated. In 2012 London Olympics, we had 5,815 Olympics. Similarly, for the 2016 Rio Olympics, we had more participation than the London Olympics. So 6,223 women athletes had participated. Alright. Now here, this is another way in which you can filter your data for female athletes. So I'm using two parameters. My gender should be equal to female, and season is Summer Olympics. Let me just run it. I have stored it in a variable called Women Olympics. Now here I am trying to find a count plot, or I am trying to create a count plot using my Seaborn SNS library. I have set my style to dark grid. Then my figure size I have given as 20, 10. my count plot will have the x-axis as year, the data is Women Olympics, and palette I'm using as spectral, and then I've given a title Women Participation. Let's run and see the output. There you go. If I scroll down, you can see on the top I have the title for my count plot which says Women Participation, and on the y-axis I have the count, and at the bottom you can see the different year values from 1900 till 2016, and 2016 had the highest number of female participation. Cool. Let me scroll down. So in this cell of code we are trying to plot a line graph. Let me run it and show you the output. So this line graph shows the trend which says plot for female athletes over time. So here you can see the line graph. So gradually the women participation has increased in Olympics since its inception. There was a slight decrease here. This is around 1950s, and again you can see here there's a decrease with the women participation in 1980, but since then, since 1980, there has been continuous increase in the participation of female athlete numbers. Cool. Now coming to the next section of our analysis. Now we are going to filter the data to see the details of the athletes who have won gold medals. So I'll create a variable called gold medals. It's equal to, I'll use my data frame as athletes underscore df, and within parenthesis I'll use my data frame name which is athletes underscore df dot, I'll use the condition medal equal to, and my value would be gold. Next I'm going to say gold medals dot head. Let's run it. There you go. So here we have the top 5 rows of the athletes who have won a gold medal. You can see all the records have medal as gold. Now we are going to use this subset of the data and perform some more analysis. So here I want to take only the values that are different from NaN. So I'm going to use is finite function, and inside that I have said gold medals age. Let me just run it. Cool. Now I want to see the athletes who have secured a gold medal beyond the age of 60 years, which is very rare. So we'll see the total number of athletes with more than 60 years of age having won a gold medal. So here I'm going to say gold medals. I'll use my column as ID, and then I'll use my variable gold medals, and then I'll say age should be greater than 60, and then I'll close my square bracket and say count. Okay, let me just verify if everything's fine. Yeah, I'll run it and we'll see the result. So there are total 6 athletes who have won a gold medal having age more than 60 years. Cool. Now let me check for which sport these 6 gold medals have come. So I'll say sporting underscore event. This is going to be my variable name, equal to, I'll use the same variable name gold medals, I'll going to choose my sport column, and then I'll give my condition age greater than 60. Now let's go ahead and we'll print the variable sporting event. If I run this, you can see it here. So for art competitions, even for archery and shooting, and this one called Rook, we have had gold medals from athletes who had an age more than 60 years. Now we are going to plot this result or the table that we achieved on the top. So I'll say plt dot figure. I'll give my figure size equal to, let's say, 10,5. Then I'll say plt dot, we'll use the tight layout, say tight underscore layout. Then I'm going to use the Seaborn library and create a count plot for my variable sporting underscore event. Then I'll say plt dot title. I'll give the title as gold medals for athletes over 60 years of age. Let's run it, and if I scroll down, you can see here we have a nice count plot. I have my title gold medals for athletes over 60 years, and since for archery we had 3 players who secured a gold medal having an age more than 60 years. You can see here archery is 3, art competition 1, rook is 1, and shooting we had 1 medal. Alright, now we'll see the total gold medals from each country. So for that I'll say gold medals dot, we'll use the region column, and followed by that I'll use the value underscore counts function, and I'll reset the index with name equal to, I'll provide the medal column. Then we are going to print the head for the top 5 countries. Let me run it. You can see it here. So USA has secured the most number of gold medals. Then we have Russia, Germany, UK, and then we have Italy. Cool. Now in this cell I am going to create a plot to visualize the table that I got above. So I've used my labels, my titles. I'm using the cat plot function that is present in the Seaborn library. I have my x-axis, my y-axis, the data which is total gold medals. Let me just verify. Okay, and we'll run it. If I scroll down, you can see this is a different palette that I had used, which is a rocket, and you can see USA has got the most number of gold medals. Then we have Russia, Germany, UK, Italy, and France. Now we also have included France here, which was not present in this table. The reason being I have used head as 6, so it will give me the top 6 countries. Alright, now we will analyze and look at the data for the most recent Olympic event that is present in our dataset. I'm talking about the 2016 Rio Summer Olympics. So first of all, I'll create a variable called max year, which will be equal to my data frame name athletes underscore df, my column name year, and I'll use the max function. Then let's go ahead and print my max year. I'll just show you the output. You can see here my max year present in the dataset is 2016, the Rio Olympics. Next, we will create another variable called team_names that will be equal to my data frame name athletes_df. Within square brackets, I'll give parenthesis and then say athletes_df dot year should be equal to my output, that is max year, which is actually 2016, and then I'll say ampersand. I'll just copy this, we'll paste it here. This time I'll use the medal column and say equal to gold. I'll say dot team, then I'll say team_names dot value_counts dot head, and we'll display the top 10 countries. Let me run this. There you go. So in Rio Olympics, United States secured the most number of gold medals. Now the reason this is 137 is we have also counted the team events, for example basketball. Similarly, Great Britain had 64 gold medals in total, Russia 50, we have Brazil 34, Argentina 21, France 20, and Japan 17. Alright. Now, using the above result, we are going to create a bar plot. I'll just change this team_list to team_names. Similarly, here also I'll make the corrections as team_names. Cool. Now we'll run it, and you can see here we have a nice horizontal bar plot. So we have United States at the top, Great Britain, Russia, Germany, China, Brazil. So here I am displaying the top 20 nations since I have used head as 20. So these are the top 20 nations who secured the most number of gold medals in the Rio Olympics. Alright. Now in the final section of this video, we will create a scatter plot to visualize the height and weight of male and female athletes who have won a medal. Now it can be a gold medal, a silver medal, or a bronze medal. But before that, we need to filter the data only for athletes who have won a medal. Now if you had noticed here, our medals column also had a few null values. So we are not going to consider those null values here. We are only going to consider for the athletes who have won a medal. So for that, I'll create a variable called not_null_medals equal to, I'll say athletes_df, then I'll give my, let's make it df, I'll give my condition. Let me just copy this, I'll paste it here, and then I'll give my condition height and use the not null function, and then I'll say ampersand, create another parenthesis, I'll say athletes_df. This time we'll consider the weight column. Again, I'll use the function as not null. and I'll close the parenthesis. Okay, I had missed one S here. Cool. Let me just run it now. Alright. Now we are going to create our final plot. I'll say plt.figure. I'll give my figure size equal to, I'll say 12,10. I'll say axis equal to SNS dot. We'll be creating a scatter plot to plot the height and weight of the athletes who have won a medal. I'll say scatter plot. In my x-axis I'll have height, comma. In my y-axis I'll have weight, comma. My data should be not underscore null underscore medals. So this is what we created here, not underscore null underscore medals, comma. I'll use hue equal to my sex column. Cool. Finally, I'll say plt dot, I'll give a title to my plot saying height versus weight of Olympic medalists. Cool. Now let's see our scatter plot. This might take some time to give the result because there are so many athletes present in a dataset who have won a medal, and also we are filtering in terms of hue, which is for male and female. There you go. So if I scroll down, you can see here we have a nice scatter plot. On the top we have the title of the plot saying height versus weight of Olympic medalists. You can see our age as the hue. So blue points are for the male athletes and orange points are for the female athletes. And on the y-axis we have the weight in terms of kilograms, and you have the height in terms of centimeters. Cool. So that brings us to the end of this demo session on Olympics dataset analysis. So we used two datasets to carry out this exploratory data analysis, and we created some visualizations to analyze and visualize the data. Alright. So that brings us to the end of this video tutorial on Olympics dataset analysis. I hope it was interesting and informative. Please try to answer those 3 questions that we have discussed in this video tutorial. Thank you for watching and keep learning.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.